I've got a couple of things I got to start out with here. I got a nice, a handwritten letter, I'll have you know. Hold on here. I got it. It's to both of us, but I received it because they know where their bread's buttered. This is from Allison in Philadelphia. And it's not only a handwritten letter, but it's on Hello Kitty notepaper. And she says, hello.
So she's obviously 8 years old.
Well, I hope not after I finish the first sentence of this goddamn letter. Hello, Jim and Brian. My husband and I recently welcomed a new baby girl into our family.
Okay, maybe not.
I thought you'd back up on that one. While being a mom is magical and snuggly and blah, 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 it's also hard and at times surprisingly lonely. And during the many long, dark, late nights and early mornings spent taking care of my newborn, your voices have kept me company.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Maybe not yours, Brian.
Hey.
And even more, it's got a little wheeze to it. And even more importantly, you have kept me awake and entertained, although there have been a couple of times where I have woken the baby up because I was laughing so hard. There's still nothing I'd rather listen to during our 2 a.m. feeding than the experience or the drive-through. 2 a.m. Ought to get that kid on a regular schedule. Clean your plate, and wash behind your ears and being tucked in bed by 9 o'clock, right?
She said it's a baby. Babies wake up all through the night.
Well, you got to start them early. That's why we'll talk about the Helix mattresses later on. You get one for the kids, put them down for a good night's sleep, tuck them right in the pocket. But anyway, she continues, and I can't tell you how many times my sweet baby girl has fallen asleep with Heaven is a Wednesday Night in the Key demo as her lullaby because I was finishing up an episode during her bedtime. Thank you both for being an instrumental part of my baby care routine. Also, please find enclosed my drawing of Jim getting railed by a donkey.
What?
As a courtesy, I have forgone the inclusion of boogers or other bodily secretions. Thanks again, Allison in Philadelphia. And son of a gun, wouldn't you know who won the donkey? She sent a very, not only a nice drawing, but it's colored. It's colored with, I believe she did a pen and ink outline and then had to color it with crayon. It's so beautiful. And it is me with my pants down around my ankles being mounted and assaulted by a lustful donkey with his tongue hanging out. And I'm putting that up here right on my bulletin board, right above my desk here that I'm sitting at right now. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate that.
Why would she send you that?
I don't know, but it's fucking unique. But that was the greatest transition in the history of fucking letters. Thank you both for being an instrumental part of my baby care routine. Also, please find enclosed my drawing of Jim getting railed by a donkey.
Maybe someone should check on that kid.
How many words are there in the English language?
I don't know.
And how many combinations could there possibly be made out of that? And then tell me that those two sentences have ever been written before in conjunction with each other.
Jim Cornette gets railed by a donkey?
Right after, thank you for being an instrumental part of my baby care. I don't know. They may have said, here's a couple of pictures of Jim Cornette getting railed by a donkey every so often, but not in conjunction with baby care.
Yeah, I don't even think Penthouse would touch this.
Well, are they still in business? I thought they did a documentary on them like they did on Playboy, Secrets of Penthouse.
Yeah.
And
my friend Bruce Garfunkel used to be the associate publisher.
Wait, who? What? Back up. What was his name?
Bruce Garfunkel.
Nobody besides Art has ever been named Garfunkel. That was part of the gimmick.
No, there are plenty of other Garfunkels, and Bruce used to work hand in hand with Bob Guccione.
Hand in what?
That sounds awful because of the connotation of Penthouse and all the shit, but no, he used to work with Bob Guccione and help run Penthouse.
Bob came off, I think, a little bit better than Hugh did. Because they were really blistering Hugh, but Bob,
Was this made by like the same people? Was it like the same kind of like takedown?
I think it's on the same network, and I can't call the network, but they don't pay for it, so why am I going to plug them anyway? But Secrets of Playboy, Secrets of Penthouse, I think they were doing the...
They show his mansion? They show his mansion over on Central Park?
Yes. But now, here's the thing. These fucking New York mansions, they're not as impressive as the California mansions. Because the California mansions have room to spread out, and by the sheer size and square footage and opulence of that, and the grounds and the upkeeping, you say, well, that's a fucking $40 million fucking house. But the mansions in New York, inside, they could be made out of solid gold, but outside they just look like another big building in a fucking street in New York. You must admit.
Well, you're not going to get that kind of real estate in Manhattan. You have to go out to the Hamptons or different parts of Long Island, along the coast of Long Island. You have to go to North Jersey, out here where I live.
You know, you're always saying, go to Long Island or go to North Jersey or go to Teterboro or whatever.
I never say Teterboro. Well, I never use Teterboro.
Bob Guccione didn't live in fucking Plainfield.
No.
He lived in that building, and it was an impressive mansion on the inside, but it didn't look like much on the outside.
But real estate in Manhattan is more expensive than just about, I think maybe like San Francisco real estate, maybe.
Well, that's because people are suckers. Who's going to pay $5 million for a shoebox?
Someone who's making $100 million.
Well, then it seems like they ought to, if they're making $100 million, then just fucking quit right there, move out to fucking California or wherever and get you a big time mansion instead of trying to squeeze in above the goddamn dry cleaners and the pizza delivery store.
There are some amazing houses out here. I'm surprised. This is now a couple of times you've pushed people to California. When did you fall in love with the California mansions? And you're not there. Motherfucker. Hello, friends. We are once again in the future on another peaceful day here on the Drive-Thru. I am your host on normal days, the great Brian Last, and of course, the star of the show, Mr. Jim Cornette. There's nothing funny yet. I don't know why you're laughing.
It's a shit show. That's my Gordon Ramsay. You'll kill somebody. Shut it down. I sound more like Nigel McGuinness. Yeah, if anything that we have done so far makes air, ladies and gentlemen, let me register that my enthusiasm for completing this program has plummeted in the time that we time traveled from a couple hours ago. Brian, do you care to share with people why we had a sudden time travel in the middle of the beginning of in the middle of the beginning? Say, now I don't even know what I'm talking about. You've got me so frazzled I can't form a cogent simile. Why did we time travel, Brian?
See, now I'm afraid to come off mute. The gardener's right outside my office window.
Fucking gardener. And after we time traveled a few hours, and before we could even put anything on tape here, if that's a phrase anymore, then you said, hold on, I've got to mute you because I have to cough. And 3 minutes later, you came back with your lung in your hand, and then you were trying to record the program and hit the mute because the gardeners distracted you or detracted you or whatever, and now you're claiming gardener noise. What the hell's going on here? What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here, Matthew?
You don't hear my claim right now?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, give me a break. They're right outside the window. What do you mean you don't hear anything? Do I care to share? Listen to the noise.
You've got a foghorn voice there for somebody with the advanced stages of emphysema there, fella.
Emphysema?
Well, you sounded horrible a few minutes ago. Apparently you've nipped up when your integrity is impugned as to the fucking background noise that all the listeners, along with myself, never hear.
Now you've got me upset. I'm going to get sicker. You see, now that my fever's going to rise, I'm going to get hotter.
Adam, it's an emergency.
You cannot tell me you do not hear them right now out there.
No, but now there's a goddamn truck in my driveway. Amazon they've come down the Nile and crossed into the Amazon, and they've invaded the castle.
You don't hear this invasion? You don't hear this invasion?
Right now. What now you've just turned an electric toothbrush on.
Well, this was my show. This is my show. I'm the one who...
apparently you've lost complete control of it. I just want to say, and already, here's another thing. Since here, your internet service, you didn't even explain this. I gave you the opportunity. You're afraid, you're embarrassed, you're ashamed. Your internet service provider flummoxed our fucking connection as we began this thing, and then we try to do it again, and it did the same thing. And normally you're blaming my Spectre internet service. They call it Spectre because you get a ghost of what you pay for. But and you're always saying, oh, run a speed test. Oh, Jim, you live down there in a hovel out in the hood where they don't have the good internet. Look down and you always run your speed. It's blazing fast. Well, then what happened? You check with your internet server. Who are they? Infinity? To infinity and beyond.
Xfinity, not infinity. Xfinity by Comcast.
You ought to X them out of your life like Sadie Mae Glutz did. Because they are working in your neighborhood, not even on your internet, but they compromised the integrity of your internet service and connection and fucked our show up. And now we're starting here in the middle of the afternoon. You know, I'm a senior citizen. I've been up since 6:14 this morning to watch the Farm Report.
Farm Report? Are you technically a senior citizen? Do you have to be 65?
No, you don't. I'm an AARP member.
That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
Well, I'm a senior. I qualified, and although I did not take my Social Security, I'm waiting to get more.
Again, not the same thing. I don't think you're entitled to any senior citizen discounts. You're not 65.
I'll have you know that some of the senior citizen discounts these days start at 55 because with the pressure of today's world and people wasting your time.
You think there's more pressure today?
Somebody's going to kick the bucket.
You think there's more pressure today than 100 years ago?
Oh, good Lord. The only pressure you had 100 years ago was if your donkey was going to die or not. If you had a healthy donkey, well, everything else just fell in line.
You're a big fan of the donkeys.
All kinds of problems.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the donkey, right?
Well, there you go. See, that's why they were on my mind. But...
That's right.
So we're talking 100 years ago. I'm talking today. People are wasting my time.